You know, they might just be waiting for me to get a manhunt and then they'll strike. But I mean, if they're not shooting me for now, I guess that works. Oh yeah, he definitely wants to fight.
Come on, my little minions. Follow me.
Oh, these guys are jokes. I like them. Alright guys, it's Mike's and I'm bringing you a build video here today. It's going to be Final Measure. I've been meaning to make this for a little while. I've used it extensively. It works before you think for some reason it might not. So we're running 3 Final Measure classifieds for the higher stat rolls, especially the holster. Ninja, that I saved from before, 1.5. A very high armor rolled tactician knee pads, and a vigorous chest piece. You don't have to run vigorous if that's not your thing. You can run another tack if you got that, or a barracks if you're playing solo and you like the overheal. Personally, I'm a booster shot fan, so vigorous is solo and team play. My guns. This is the God Roll LVOAC. It was sold in the DZ6 East back last update. I got 3 of them. Actually, this is a different one. This is one that I found in 1.6. This is I already knew about Determined how that was going to be a thing, so I saved this gun. It's also a max damage roll, just like this one. Slightly less EAD, but that doesn't really matter, really. I mean, I'm killing NPCs, they're easy to kill anyway. Running Determined, Talented, Commanding. I could take out Talented for Skilled. That's what I tried to roll. I rolled this gun about 6 times, didn't get Skilled, so I just settled on Talented. And actually, Talented isn't too bad either, anyway. My main gun is Adept, Deadly, and Competent. I like Adept because I mean, what other talent gives you 37.5% crit chance? Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't always have that much, especially when you're getting disrupted. But for those disrupt fights, I have a responsive variant. You know, it makes sense. You've got to have a backup plan. I use this when I have a high pulse in the team, but when I'm playing solo in a small team, I just use my Adept one. It makes much more sense. Mods on my gun, pretty standard. Max roll there, I think it's 20, but whoever has a 20% crit damage one. Crit damage, headshot, crit chance, same thing here on the muzzle. Grip is accuracy, stability. I could probably do with reload speed instead of accuracy. Accuracy doesn't really do much on the lower C. Extended mag, pretty standard. High rate of fire there for a magazine. I think there was a 5.6 available, but I haven't got that. As for any other weapons I use here, nope, I don't use any of those. My secondary, I never use this because of Adept. Again, I have Talented on here, so really I should really take Talented off the other one and put Skilled on it, and then if I wanted to proc Talented I could switch my pistol and get a finishing kill with it, but that's not what I've got here. I've got intent to chase players down, but I never remember to use it, so don't worry about the sidearm. Otherwise, this is a fairly decent sidearm with average damage, high rate of fire, good mag size. For the vigorous chest piece, same one in my previous build. I haven't found a better one. You know, I could do with another 2k health there and 1% skill waste, but haven't got it. Ammo capacity is high. Main stat is 1269. That's high. For the ninja back, pretty high. Same one that you saw before. It's a 1244 roll, so that's pretty decent. I haven't got ammo on here, so I do have ammo issues because I run 2 assault rifles to, you know, especially this to get my ult back. I'm shooting a lot of NPCs, so I'm thinking of getting a SMG secondary to proc it, but don't worry about it. For the mask, running a classified here, and that's it's 1398, so it's pretty much max. Armor is 100 below. Could do a bit more there. Burn resistance, I don't really need burn. I might just change that to Disorient. Disorient seems to be screwing me up a hell of a lot more than burn these days. Burn is kind of disappeared with the nerf to the balls and that, which is good. I don't like that. The gloves here, I have a fairly high firearms roll, although I'm about 25, 24, 23 F max here. Don't worry about that. Assault rifle damage is almost max, skill haste max, crit chance is 5, close enough. I have another one here with slightly higher armor that gives me about a K more toughness. Max electronics, close enough, and the other stats are good. Thinking of swapping around the main stats on these, so that this one is the electronic one and that's the... So when I play in a team, sometimes I take down my damage a little bit and put my skill power up, so everyone benefits of a slightly larger heal. It makes sense, but then again I do love the burst potential of 7.5k firearms. It's quite nice. The tactician piece here is 1224. It's alright, health is alright. I've got shock and disorient resistance, those are probably the two most annoying ones in this patch. The armor roll is max, haven't seen anything higher than that, so that's great. And all my pieces I am running self heal. On this piece I run the health firearms mod, all the other ones are skill haste, so I can reach the cap of skill haste of 50%. Go to the holster here, the holster, oh look at this holster, oh come on, I know you want a jizz one right now, look at that, 30, 99, 96, 89, I'm losing a total of what, 13, like 17, 19 stat points overall from the holster. Absolutely fantastic, obviously one off armor as well, max, brilliant stuff right here. So that, look at my stats, 7.5k, 2.9 just enough to unlock responsive, but I'm not actually using responsive, so never mind that. And 5k electronics for moderate skill power there. I mean, the heal is not the biggest thing in the world, but it's big enough for solo play. You want above 150k if you're playing solo. To my abilities. So when I'm playing solo, I mean, I always use a booster shot, and that's giving me 100k, so it's giving me half my health, so that's alright. It should get you from just below the next health segment up 2 health segments, you know, because it's 1.5 but segments that it would heal up if it's half my health. The talents for solo play, definitely not that. I don't use combat medic. I'm messing up here. So for solo play, take off combat medic. So I use critical save, strike back, precision, and on the move. Sometimes I take off on the move if I don't feel like I'm getting many kills on the floor, and I've switched that to triage, because when you get in your last health segment and you proc that med kit, you get the 20% from here from strike back, and you get the 15% from triage, and that's, you know, that really helps keep the triage, the adept alive when you're in trouble, because when you're in trouble you take a lot of damage, you've got to heal to stay alive. There's no point keeping your adept up when you're going to die, but this helps keep your adept and you alive, so that's really good. But when you're in a team, obviously you've got to put combat medic on, take off precision, because someone on your team will be running a pulse, even though it counters conceal. I still think you should take it off, and you're better off running triage there instead of that. Those are pretty much solo talents. If you don't find yourself getting down to the last health segment so much, then you could switch out strike back, but really strike back, I mean, you're always going to be getting hit down to that last bit, because you want to pop that med kit. I mean, if you're using this, you intend to get down to your last health segment, so you may as well double up and use both. That's right for talents. For skills, the immunizer really, I mean, if you're doing the adept thing, it's king. It's so good, especially when you're solo and you need that extra heal. It makes a lot of sense. Other talents, other skills that I use, I might use a shock turret sometimes, but really, rarely, you know, everyone else has to be running a really good immunizer, a disruptor, and a pulse for me to run the shock turret. That's my fourth choice. My second choice is a disruptor, because it's so good. It's brilliant. This is more of a team-based thing. I never run this solo. If I feel I'm playing solo and I'm getting hit by a really strong pulse, and I switch out the box for a conceal, it makes sense. I mean, you've got to counter what's hitting you, so you've got to adjust your gameplay. Don't use that, don't use that, don't use that. Seeker Mine's not too bad actually. Very situational though, wouldn't really use it. Again, when you're solo, you typically want to run a recovery link for those unexpected fights or burst damage that you might get. In a team, I am terrible at recovery link. I'm so slow, so I much prefer to plan what I'm going to do than to respond to stimuli like I'm a single-celled organism. I'm not. I plan ahead, so I use a survivor link. When you use a survivor link, keep in mind, especially when you're solo or in a small team, pop canned food, because you get 40% healing effect. So not only are you giving yourself twice your effective health pool from the ult, the blue ult, But when you're popping your heals as well, you know, you're going to get 40% more, especially if you're getting hit. That 40% effectively counts as 80% because of your ult. So you could be getting maybe 3 times your total health throughout the duration of those, you know, of the blue ult. Especially this as well. I'm getting a max heal there. So, is there anything else? Right, I need to go through my character stat sheet. Clear anything up. 28% crit. That's because I just procced Adept twice. I think my base crit is about 11, 13% or 5%. It depends which gloves I'm using, because one of them has crit chance, one of them has crit damage. Crit damage here is 96. It could be a little bit. Why is it so low? Have I got the wrong gun on? So I've got deadly on there. Crit damage is 96 apparently. Headshot damage is 87. You want the headshot damage up a little bit. I mean, you could go for stability if you're having trouble controlling the LVO if you use that gun. But really, you just got to get used to it. And once you get used to it, it's a very solid gun. Range is good. Reload time. AR damage bonus. Anything else to see here? Not really. Skill haste is max, of course. Armor is 32.4. So I've got very good armor rolls on there. Got some protection from elites because I'm running final measure, and EDR because final measure. Bleed resistance, I think I'm going to change that over to no, the burn resistance over to Disorient, because Disorient is really the biggest. It screws me up more than anything in this update. Shock resistance is vital. Alright guys, I think that's it. I'm going to jump into some gameplay here for you guys to enjoy, because this, I have plenty of gameplay saved up, but this build is monster. Solo and in a team, especially in a team as well. I mean, if you can still do damage with your adept and max skill haste and protect your team with nades, not only that, you can dish out your own nades. You know, you want to use all of these things. Use everything in your arsenal. What was it? You know, use everything. Don't forget to use things. Don't be afraid to use everything, man. Alright guys, in a bit.
Agent neutralized.